Welcome back. This is Yoon. We are in the grand finals now of this Enter the Rift tournament. With me alongside is actually owner of Overclock Gaming and Computers, Mr. Tim Cooper. How are you, sir?
I am doing good, Yun. Yourself?
Pretty good. Kind of hungry.
Kind of hungry. So many games today.
I know, a lot of games today. So going right into these picks and bans now. This is the last set, best of 3 between Anthrax actually fighting out of losers bracket, now tying series 1-1 against NFAO on purple. Already opening up these Casio Vayne bans. Again, I don't think those are going to change. I still don't understand them. But I haven't seen any prominent Cassiopeia players, and it's more just people letting Vayne free farm than actually causing problems. As well as we see Udyr ban, as well as Shen. These are all 4 that we've seen already in all the other games so far.
Well, in the previous games, I think they had a serious issue with the Udyr of the other team, so they're just banning him out, getting him out of the equation.
Oh, yeah, Siobhan, yeah. My bad. Also following out a Lee Sin ban as well. Again, most of these are just stronger champions on their own, except Vayne, who's more just the problem early game. But people haven't really been shutting down or taking advantage of the really weak laning phase that she offers.
I'm pretty sure every single time we've seen a Vayne in the tournament, actually, she's been winning lane against people, which has been kind of strange. She's using her tumble to harass, and she's poking people out of a lane.
That's just people playing improperly then.
Yeah,
if you're somehow getting out harassed by Vayne, it shouldn't happen.
There's the first pick, Morgana.
So alright, yeah, we see this Ashe also being banned out, which is one of the heroes that they've been using again 2 games in a row. That the arrow is something that they haven't actually adapted to correctly, and have actually thrown 2 games out of just being caught by arrows all game long. So we already see this Morgana first pick actually. Right away, we already saw Anthrax actually use this. This is something that they're comfortable with. This is a hero that's actually just all-purposeful and it's very strong on its own.
Yeah, with the Morgana, it's normally a ban. At least we see around here. Pretty much every single game that's played is Morgana's banned, but they've been leaving it open this entire tournament, which I guess means that they're not worried about a Morgana pick on the other team. But one good binding can change a team fight completely.
Yeah, especially late game binding becomes such a big thing that you have to avoid. Already we see a Soraka being locked in with Graves.
Now, I like the Soraka Graves lane a lot. I think it gives a lot of poke and a lot of sustain. My issue that I find when I play Graves is that he runs out of mana effectively. With Soraka, he's able to just constantly harass the enemy champions and keep an aggressive playstyle.
An easy way to deal with these Soraka Graves lane also is also to play something like Janna. And just sit back, because Graves is only really good against aggressive supports and he has to push. With Soraka, it allows him to push lane and shove constantly and keep that up. But with Janna and something like that, as long as he picks some sort of farm lane, he's able to just sit there and farm is what he wants. And with Graves lane, that's kind of more what you want. Graves, after nerfs, has become less of this powerhouse that comes late game. He's still strong late game, just not as much, and it's noticeable from the 25 range that they took away, as well as just his stats overall makes it. He's not as. He kind of had like this Vayne syndrome late game where he would just wreck everyone late game just as well. But his late game now is actually kind of outshone by the things about like Trist, Vayne, and so on. You see now this Maokai again being used again by Anthrax. We've been using this a lot. I think all the games so far. I think all the games today they've been using Maokai as a jungler, which is actually, it's a very useful one. It's very strong in ganks. It's very team oriented with that ultimate. Vengeful Maelstrom just takes away so much damage out from this AoE. And it's been used to great effect so far by them.
Yeah, and the Maokai, he's been used to catch a lot of people. One of the big things that we've been seeing happening these past games is one person gets caught, and then the team fight immediately turns into a 5v4. And Maokai has been great at landing that twisted advance and then forcing the fight quickly into a 4 versus 5 rather than a 5v5 scenario.
Also, Mumu Rally also being selected right now. So they did pick Corki. Depending on the support that they choose to go with Corki, we'll see. They have been doing Corki Janna, so that will actually just sit in a lane where you just trade, because that's actually Corki Janna can't out-trade Graves Soraka if they play offensively. That's not possible. Again, though, we've seen a lot of these AD carries not execute their lanes well. So again, I'm kind of already in the habit of not expecting what should be happening
Like one strange thing that I'm seeing here is how the support on Team Anthrax seems to be picking up the heal over the AD carry, which is just strange because if you talent into a mastery, the AD is normally the one that's going to get focused, and it just gives that extra benefit of a heal. And there's support picking up exhaust. I also find in lane is often stronger.
Actually, surprisingly, that's the misconception people have. People think it's a talent in the mastery tree. Heal actually just does more to whoever has it and does less to people around it. And exhaust doesn't change depending on whoever uses it. So having an AD, the heal does more to them, and then they can skill the mastery tree to have that even further. Whereas a support can't increase the heal. They're just going to get that smaller amount that it is from that from the aura that they sit in. And then the exhaust doesn't change effect of who has it and who doesn't. The exhaust is still the same effect no matter who has it.
So I think this is one of the first gangplanks we've actually seen so far this entire tournament, which is strange to me because he's such a strong top lane and he's the ability to influence other lanes just by existing and being gangplank.
Gangplank is so strong. He's actually somehow, I don't know why, even in like higher level play, he seems to be undervalued now. So everyone's been jumping Aurelia, jumping AP tops, jumping this Lee Sin vibe top, but I still haven't seen anyone play effectively here now, but definitely being popular. I'm not too sure why, because GP is still incredibly strong.
He has a great laning phase. He's got the ability to farm really effectively, and he can influence other lanes
at
the drop of a hat.
If he does hit 6 items, he's also one of the strongest 6-item heroes in the entire game. We also see now rounding out the lineups, they do go for this Janna to go with this Corki. So, not to be honest, they've run basically 2 lanes from Anthrax. Anthrax has either run Corki Janna or Ashe Soraka. I haven't seen anything.
And they banned out the Ashe,
so
they're going for their Corki Janna comp.
Yeah, and they're going to go for this Vladimir middle with Aurelia top. Haven't seen any Aurelias either.
No, I think this is the first Aurelia I've seen too.
I haven't seen too many of these Aurelias. Aurelia's actually just the strong, like, kind of just jack of all trades top.
I think people might be nervous playing her post-nerf Tuesday's nerf, but I still feel that she's a really strong champion top lane.
It's still Aurelia.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take away that nerf, unless you hit her severely, it's barely anything that's going to affect her. And then Vlad middle, Vlad mid against Morgana, I don't think is a very smart one, especially if Morgana just decides to push. You have a Mumu who is it's a very weak gank to start, and even after that, you have very bad follow-up right after that anyway.
I think this is also the first Mumu we've seen this tournament as well.
Not a lot of people take to Mumu. It's more of an EU thing. Not a lot of players like a Mumu just because he doesn't offer as much in terms of. He's like Warwick, who has
a
more of a level 6 kind of gank orient, except his earlier ganks are still weak. His ultimate's actually still pretty good, but even so, it's still people don't like it as much, and they'd rather have these other tanky, more disruptive junglers like Maokai, Lee Sin, Udyr, Shyvana, and Mumu's very prone to being counter jungled. However, in this matchup against there's not much that is going to be a threat to him in his jungle, so he's going to actually have a pretty safe jungle. Because Maokai can't really counter.
Maokai's not a very effective
well, and
counter.
He doesn't even have that much damage to start with.
I think one thing that the team might be thinking right now is last time they got beat by a lot of AoE damage, and I think they wanted to bring in the Mumu maybe to counteract that, to kind of put AoE in their favor.
I think they need more AoE damage than this, because you have Vlad, but there's still not a whole lot of AoE even after the fact of a Mumu.
And even Graves' ultimate's not that much damage.
Not anymore, and Vlad is not even that much AoE. He just has an AoE
Since
amplification.
it just got a nerf too.
So quickly though, we're just going to jump over to this Gamer commercial from Prodigy, and we'll go right into this game. We'll be right back.
All right, hello everybody. This is Prodigy on the microphone. Just for a quick shout out to our sponsors and some of the stuff we've got coming down the pipe here at Overclock Gaming and Computers. Earlier today, we finished up the second $10 RP giveaway using hashtag ETRYEG. We're going to be doing the same thing again in the future, so be sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/OKGaming. Shout out to Oodle Noodle for sponsoring the event. If you're in the Edmonton vicinity and you're in the mood for some delicious noodles, be sure to call for delivery or head on to one of their fine establishments throughout the city. For delivery, call 780-278-7877. April 7th here at Overclock Gaming and Computers is Overkill 2, an FPS tournament featuring Counter-Strike 1.6, 5-on-5 on the PC, of course, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and Halo Reach, both on the Xbox 360, and both being 2v2, if I'm not mistaken. Entry fee is $20 a person. Tournament's going to start at noon, so be sure to get there plenty early for that and practice up your skills. Shake off that rust if you haven't played in a little while. Thursday nights at Overclock Gaming and Computers is also League of Legends night. Thursday night, 6 to 10 p.m. $10 for members, $15 for non-members. Come by, meet some new people, discuss some strategies, level up your game, and use one of the many computers we have here and play with the very vibrant and active local scene. 12 teams came out for this event, brought a lot of friends, spectators, and family, etc., to hang out for the tournament. So there were well over 60 people here yesterday, and a handful of people here today as well, though the majority of them have gone home at this point. So definitely a lot of people to get to know here, and Thursday is definitely a great way to do that. Be sure to follow Overclock Gaming and Computers online, as like I said, twitter.com/okgaming, facebook.com/overclockedcomputers. The link on the screen is a little bit out of date, but we'll have that up to date very shortly here. All the VODs from the tournament are going up right now at Twitter, our youtube.com/overclockededmonton, and you can follow all of the upcoming events at www.overclock.com. Final shout out to Edmonton Gamers before I pass the microphone off. They have been doing a wonderful job of keeping everything going nice and smoothly here. So be sure to follow them online as well at all the various links that you see on the screen. And I'm going to pass the microphone back to Yoon and Mystery just after this quick commercial from Gamer Grub.
Oh man, jacked again. Oh, hello.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
We are back into this game right now. Just starting up right now. We do have Anthrax sitting up here in this bush right here. They're looking to steal this camp
Steal the
from
race.
Mumu, which is actually very easy to do. This level 1 that NFAO has is actually very weak right now. This is actually more towards this late game. They get very strong. Vlad and Aurelia scale very well into late game. And right now their early game is actually a very, very weak part of their team. So they're going to steal this Wraith camp and possibly even go for this red.
Minions have spawned.
So we have Corky actually just going to go back right now before he heads off to lane. Jan up here still just to lend support. And Vlad's going to take this long way around just to not get caught out by anything, which is always a smart move. So we got Maokai grabbing this Wraith camp, and they are going to steal this red as a Mumu. Like, there's nothing much that they can do about this right now. So they have free reign over their jungle. Isn't really being contested, so he's going to grab this red buff just as well. Excuse me.
Do you think they're going to give it to Gangplank first to give him some late dominance?
And do something with this M5 crap?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, it looks like they are.
So he's going for that. And try to emulate this M5.
So Gangplank's going to pick up red buff and head into lane against Vladimir. Now, Gangplank with red is extremely scary, especially early game. If he gets that raised morale, and he's able to get in 3 stacks on his passive, he's going to be doing a ton of damage to Vladimir.
Yeah, he has a very strong early game. Gangplank is one of the strongest level 1s out of any of the champions in the game right now. And Vlad is actually very weak at level 1. He always tries to pick up like in mid game. His lane phase is pretty weak against people that can harass right now. As you see this right now, this red buff sticking to him, the parlay.
Tons of damage. Vladimir's forced to flash with the
There's the
ignite.
transfusion.
And
This
he's
is gonna be
down.
enough.
First blood.
There we go.
First
The ignite
blood.
tick with the red as well as the GP passive going to be enough. Vlad going to be taken out, trying to play way too out of the capabilities of this champion. So again, taking advantage of that. I don't like this mid lane setup with Aurelia middle.
No, I think that's kind of strange, actually.
You know, if this Morgana actually picks up on the fact that she can't deal with pushing right now, and she just continues to shove against the tower, Aurelia is going to be focused to have a lot of...
And that'll let Morgana roam around while Aurelia is forced to last it against the tower, because Aurelia's not a great pusher without her ult.
She's going to lose CS, and again, unless she has this W and starts to activate that, she is 69 damage, so I don't know about how much AD runes if she's running any at all. She's going to have to force to use that as well as Blade, so she's just farm out of this tower right now, so that's going to be a problem.
So Maokai starting up his red, maybe looking to do a gank bottom at level 4. Maokai ganks at level 4 are extremely strong.
Yeah, although he is running low on
He
health,
is
so
quite low
probably
on
have
health
to
right now.
Heal off regrowth better or not, or have that passive. I probably won't get to see. Probably not going to have a gank right now, as he is just a bit behind in his jungle. You see Vlad still getting pressured top right now. GP did go back by that null magic mantle quickly, as well as a ward right now. But again, the ganks that Mumu has, he doesn't even have to lay this ward down. Because the only form of CC he really has is that stun. He'll just fruit out of it and run away. There's not much that they can do to this GP. GP's actually pretty safe right now. And the thing is there's so many weak lanes. The solo lanes are just really weak right now in this setup. As well as you have a jungler that can't really gank either of these two really strong until level 6. So right now they're really just kind of fending on their own bottom. The only real strong one that they have is bot, but even that, like Maokai can actually gank that and
pretty effectively, as Soraka has very limited escape.
Yeah. Mumu looking for this gank top again. This isn't going to go very well as long as Gangplank just plays this correctly. So here he is. He's going to loop around here pretty soon. There's a giant creep wave though, and he's playing a bit back though. Vlad again doesn't have too much damage right now. Transfusion is on cooldown. He does have the slow out of Sanguine Pool to it. He does just tick level 4 right now. He is playing very cautiously. Still doesn't have the ward. There's a transfusion. Still not going for it quite yet. Possibly looking for it to push up. He isn't going to get much further than this right now. I feel Moo is just kind of wasting his time right now. Not much damage is going to be done from this gank. Maokai also heading towards the bot lane. He will be spotted by this ward in the river though, so that is
Graves is pushed quite up right now.
Now Mumu's going to go in right now on this GP. GP using that Razor Morale, trying to get out of there quickly. Tantrum going down. There's the crowd. There's the W out of it. Flashing out of it. Is this going to be enough? No, again, there's not enough damage for him to...
Meanwhile, bottom Maokai is taking on the Graves. Graves is going down. He managed to land red buff on him and then the twisted advance to stop him right in lane. Graves burned his flash too.
Not going to get much out of that. It also burns the flash. Not going to be enough to get away from that. So Lulu's wasted a lot of time pop, and that's going to start to set him a bit more behind after that. Not getting that kill off. Especially when you go for these ganks or these junglers that need to get their level 6 to become that much more effective. They don't want to be behind in that. Maokai already having that Philosopher's Stone going to start ticking GP10 where Mumu still hasn't quite gone for it yet. He has enough. He's going to continue to farm this jungle currently for the time being. Already middle. I'm actually surprised that Morgana's not shoving harder, to be honest. This really actually 34 CS to this 40. Definitely this Morgana could be putting a bit more pressure on.
And Morgana did open Doran's Ring, which is I guess a fine opener on Morgana. Most middles I see nowadays seem to be opening Boots 3 pots just for the escape and lane sustain, but since Morgana's got that passive spell vamp, I guess she doesn't have to worry about that as much.
It's mainly just for being able to move faster, to be able to get in and out and get in range of in ranges of stuff. If you're trying to harass with things like people that have very smaller pokes compared to them, they want to be able to move quicker and kind of be able to, you get in ranges, you're able to escape ganks more, you can react quicker, and move speed is just that much more important. That's also why Janna 3% move speed, while it's not a huge number, it actually changes a lot, because being able to have that speed, just those couple units actually makes a huge difference. GP now just going to be able to farm safely as tower, looking at CS quickly. Vlad is staying at 35, GP just at 28. However, he did go back, start getting that Merc Tread. It's going to take a lot less damage though. We also see now Morgana actually coming in on this blue buff. However, she is spotted by this man. Actually sure GP going to actually pull out a pretty early ultimate. Well, obviously it was blind too, so a waste of a GP ultimate there. Umu's now just going to proceed to go get that himself now. Soraka also coming up to look for a bit of assistance. Again, back to the CS quickly. Corki saying a 50 CS over Graves is 50. Not too much. Obviously, Graves just at a slight deficit from being ganked early. We're going to pick up his blue now.
And it doesn't look like Graves is applying much pressure bottom, as Corki seemed to open with Boots 3 pots and still hasn't had to use a potion yet.
Yeah, I think he just got scared, and he hasn't really been harassing out of it either. He's mostly just been trying to shove lane. Even the lane shoving could be on a lot more, but he really wants to try and get this, these quick. You can easily quick draw, have an auto, and then use buckshot in on this.
Yeah.
You can easily burst down shield and just start to out-trade Corki.
And Corki is a pretty effective tower farmer with that true damage passive for 10% of his attack damage turning into true damage.
And shield makes it that much easier.
And shield makes it even easier to last hit.
I'm going to set up top, steal. I'm going to go for that revolver, obviously.
And looks like Gangplank's transitioning middle.
Yeah, which is the smart thing to do. you can easily... Actually, this isn't even really a necessary thing to have. Either of these lanes is fine. I just guess he wants to have GP middle for a bit more of a harass, but which isn't really the best part to put, because you're putting this level 6 GP against a level 8 Aurelia. And GP has advantages over Aurelia early, but the fact that this Aurelia already has levels on this GP is kind of where she wants to be. And then when she starts to have U10 style maxed out, and get things like Sheen, or you start to get Wit's End, then you just start trying to trade with WQ, like, and then you just kind of pull off that. But she's already kind of staying at a comfortable
Looks like
spot.
Mumu's looping around middle. He is level 6 now, so he does have his ultimate proc and ready to go.
Actually, see Vlad coming down as well. So
Vlad's coming in as well. Looks like it's going to be a tri-gank middle.
Oh my god.
And Mumu hits the bandage. And there's the ultimate. Vlad's using his ultimate. Probably a little bit of overkill there, but they take down the kill. Mumu just getting away with like 18 health there.
15 HP. It really actually stunned the minion. So that could have been done a lot more clear last. They do just pick up the kill anyway. So now Morgana's going to start heavy pushing top, as Vlad is actually going to be middle now, and they're going to send Aurelia back top. So able to get one gank off, even though 3, they almost getting that Amumu killed in the tower too, expending a lot of flashes for that. It was actually kind of a poor end gank, just too many resources really burned out, but they do pick it up. That is going to help a little bit in their lanes right now. They do have Ping's bottom. Now Graves actually getting some damage off on this Corki in a better trade.
And Corki still hasn't gone back to buy yet, so Graves is rocking Berserker Greaves and Doran's Blade, so his damage is going to be much more significant to Corki's. But there's Maokai looping around. They did see it warded over at the Tri-Bush.
So he's just going to walk. He's going to probably go to the middle right now and try and get this gank off on Vlad. Vlad is currently blind right now. Here he goes. He's
One of the
emerging
strength
from
of
the bush
Maokai
right
ganks
now,
is
putting that twisted advance
pool.
off, and does it before it hits the pool right now. Now the red buff Arcane Smash. He's going to flash out into the range of his tower and escape from that, forcing that burn on flash. Well done by the Maokai, trying to get that off. Sitting here maybe for another one if this Vlad decides to go in again. This minion wave is in favor of purple right now, so he might just be waiting for this to push out again, loop around, and go in on this Vlad again as that flash is now down.
And you're right, here he's coming.
From the angle now,
There's
the
a
pool is
twist.
off
Oh,
cooldown right
pool
now.
got out first.
Pull down first, didn't quite
And he
get
does
that.
decide to twist
He's
advance
gonna-
on the tower.
Yeah, not the smartest thing. He isn't going to be able to deal enough damage there again. GP has no real damage on him, so they do just peel off instead. We see Mumu also well as top. However, this is... Oh, no, never mind. It's not warded. But this Morgana is playing safe. I think there might have been a ward that... Oh, no, there is a ward here. What am I talking about? I can't see colors.
And Graves seems to be keeping Corki pushed to a tower, making the decision either that he has to go back or he gets to farm. So Graves is going to push out the wave, and denying Corki at least 6 minions here.
Yeah, this is what this Graves wants to do, is just push. Because if they play this smart, the Corki Jet aren't going to go and try for trades, and if they can, this Graves can just out-trade them significantly and then just heal and sustain off the Soraka. So they really just feel as well as he pushes to tower though. Now Corki's actually going to be able to just kind of farm on tower pretty easily right now. So he wants to try and get those pushes as well as those hits of harass. And Corki coming back with 2 pieces of Triforce, going to go for that. Having that Sheen and that Phage going to upcrease his damage as well as be able to stick to this Graves with the Phage procs if he's able to get one out and the trade is in his favor.
How do you feel about early Trinity over early BF on a Corki, for example?
BF gives you the opportunity to go to IE quicker, and the biggest thing is that the Trinity is in favor more of mid-game damage, whereas the IE allows you for like late game. So you see like so even like Ezreals and Corkis that decide to rush this IE first, like personally I don't like it as much, but it's more useful to transition into a late game build compared to like if you're not getting these like early kills on these two. I like to go for that IE instead because it's going to give you more power late game as opposed to mid game, which is where the Trinity Force is better. Because if you have that Triforce, that's 4,000 gold you have to spend on that item. If you have someone else like Graves, Tristan, they're just going to go for those bigger items. They're going to do much more damage than you come late game, and you're going to have to spend that other 4,000 gold or that 3,830 gold just to get that other that IE just to be on
There goes
par.
Maokai in on the Graves.
Maokai. Going to hit him just as he hits it to push the Arcane Smash is going to go off. The exhaust too. Now here we go. Heals from Soraka as well as the Witch.
Every
Now
single
the
heal's
Summoner's
burned.
heal,
And there's a
and that
Gangplank
smoke
ult.
screen. And there we go. That Janna's actually going to pick up the kill. I thought that Maokai would have come in. Here comes Vlad and Mumu coming down. Vlad ultimate going down. There's the Monsoon push. Can this
Mumu's
Mumu
going to
get
try and
this
land a
bandage
pull.
toss? Able to get it on Janna right now. Janna's not going to... Oh, going to bring the flash out. No Mumu ultimate being blown. We do have Morgana down here as well. And those two are going to park.
Morgana's... Oh, just missed the Vladimir there.
Well, Aurelia's just going to push top while she has the opportunity to. Looking at CS again, quickly going over it. Graves at 110 to Corky's 106 right now. Morgana's staying at 107. Aurelia's still at 105. No real pressure being done on her. And then Vlad also pulling ahead of GP, 90 to 65. Got items. Janet gained those 2 GP10s. Nothing too, just a standard build right now. Corky finishing those boots. See the the Maokai again with those GP10 items as he's going to do this boom and hand it off to the Morgana most likely. Morgana with those 2 Doran rings, still has quite a bit of gold. Might go for this, he has, Lesser has gone for that Hourglass before. Most likely going to go for that again. That's his first item.
Realizes blue's still up before he's going to go back.
Going to have that handed over in just about now.
So Aurelia did manage to take top tower there when Gangplank and everyone was fighting bottom. So
yeah,
they're going to get a little bit of gold
free
from
tower,
that.
definitely for sure with Wit's End. She already had Wit's End when she was doing it, so it was so easy for her to just smack down that tower really, really quick. Vlad also now has Woda, obviously that core item that most Vlad players will go, or almost basically every Vlad player goes. Obviously synergizing very well with his kit, allows him to upkeep himself in health.
So Mumu handed off red buff to Aurelia, and they're going to be sending Aurelia middle, it looks like now, to maybe counter gank this Morgana and try and
looking to
shut her
roam
down.
around, definitely try to get off some of these kills right now. Well, the angle from here, she might want to loop around. Sorry, we actually missed this kill bot. A very close exchange bottom as this Graves is going to escape with just 40 health right now. As long as he gets a heal out of Soraka.
Oh, there's the Gangplank ult.
Comes the Gangplank ult, also going to land right on top of... landing right on square. Right on Graves, and he's going to fall down too. We do see Aurelia actually going to come out
Coming
here.
from
And
behind.
this is actually a fight that she can win. Gangplank does not have that much to fight. There's a slow with that red buff. And as well, is she going to be able to tick this red buff again after the orange? Not quite as a
Not
speed
quite.
with the
And
Graves
Mumu seems
Morale
to-
be too much. Mumu going for it and decides to just walk off. Not going to be able to get that.
So there hasn't been much counter jungling at all in this game. It's one of the things that I've been seeing a lot more in team ranked and solo queue is the tendency to try and counter jungle and get ahead, stealing the enemy's blue, stealing the enemy's red, and trying to get that early advantage so you can push that into the mid game.
At the start of the game when they wanted to take the red, that's fine because they know that they can. They have a very weak level 1 on the purple team. The fact is now, like, when it's not those... Unless you're doing these big group ones, these 2 junglers don't have the capacity or the capability, to actually do those counter jungles well unless it's safe. Because these 2 can get caught very easily and they can't really fend for themselves that well. As opposed to something like Shyvana, Udyr, Lee Sin, Mundo are all very strong individually, and if they do decide to run for these other junglers, they can just fight them straight out one-on-one, because those are also the junglers that, like Shyvana, Lee Sin, Mundo can also pack. Instead of flash, they take things like exhaust, and so when you run into these 1v1s, all they do is exhaust you and win the fight. Looking around, we see the Graves going for that, i.e. Buying that Cloak of Agility as well. Soraka only having 1 GP 10 so far, but also has those cooldown boots. Spam that heal, spam the infuse. Vlad also going for those cooldown
Morgana's
boots.
landed her ultimate middle against Vladimir. Vladimir pulls it, but there's twisted advance onto Vladimir. Sapling, and Alyssa picks up the kill.
Regardless of pool, as long as you're tethered first, you can't get out of it. You have to pool the initial tether from Soul Shackle. So even though he pulls, he still gets ticked from the stun, and then that's a free twisted advance afterwards as he's not going anywhere. We do see Mumu coming down. It is being pinged though. You might see an actual. This is an easy dive actually. As Maokai is still all the way up on the in mid lane now. He's
And
actually
Mumu
gonna
does in
reveal
fact have his
himself.
ult up still, so...
Yeah, this Mumu should actually be really going for this dive right now. As long as he just heals up, he should just be emerging. Or just
he's going for
through
the
lane.
bush.
Yeah. This is a smart move to do. They need to do this really quick though.
I guess bottom lane knows that that bush there is warded, and they're telling Mumu to back off.
It still would have just been better just come from this tri-bush and go for it. I mean, everyone else on the other players on Anthrax are just they could see them elsewhere, and they know that Morgana had to go back from having 10 health. And it was a free attempt to go do this dive with a Mumu. Even a Mumu already has his Glacial Shroud and his Heart of Gold, so he still has quite a bit enough to have this tank.
To tank the tower for,
especially with Corki being that low. So it would have been a good dive to go for it, but he doesn't go for it instead to try to capitalize on that. That's what they need to do. They need to start capitalizing on opportunities to pull themselves back into this game. Whoa.
A little bit of a Skype hiccup there.
Yeah. Anyways. We do see Maokai now coming down bottom again, flashing after the quick draw forward from him, from Graves. He's going to throw down that smoke screen now, trying to actually land enough damage on this Corki. The exhaust coming down, not going to be enough. He's trying to kite that away, not enough damage. Oh my gosh, one Soraka auto nearly takes away the rest of that health bar. He still lives with about 20 HP, and Soraka's going to go down as well.
Morgana's come down for the counter gank to protect them.
Yeah, Morgana's going to force out a Moo and Vlad from this, so they're not going to be able to pick up that kill. They might see this.
And Aurelia seems to have gone back. Do you think they're going to go for a dragon here, noticing that they don't have that bush warded where Terabyte's standing in right now? So we're not going to see that the jungler's actually backing while their entire team's positioned down bottom lane.
Well, but you could see that the jungler actually has basically no mana from that. And even that, there's not a whole lot of damage output because all they're relying on is this Morgana to do basically all the damage. So that they could have gone for this. It's possible for them to have gone for this dragon attempt. Having this Wit's End on Aurelia would be able to tank it, and Mumu actually can do it at a decent
fairly
rate,
quickly because of his tears.
I think still, if they don't want to take the chance to fall deeper down the hole, it's safer to just have this and try and clear out these waves more, and then just ward up dragon and try and catch if Anthrax decides to try to go for it, and then go for it off that. Quickly looking over these items, this Graves is still 1 in 4, so this Corki's actually quite a bit ahead in gold. We're looking at, actually no, never mind. I guess due to that tower, this Graves is actually farming quite well, only about 100 gold in total behind this Corki. Corki's still going to be having that Triforce, actually has enough for that Triforce just now to combine it. We see GP now coming down to this Tribush. They don't have any knowledge of this right now, but they're just kind of playing safe right now, not too sure where the rest of the enemy team is. Look at this, the items right now. Morgana definitely going for that Hourglass as the first item. We see GP now.
Anthrax is caught by the Soraka. He's going to raise morale. And there's Corki jumping in really early. Phage managed to proc. That's a lot of damage.
That armor, yep. Not going to be quite enough, and they're going to start now. They're going to force this as they see Aurelia top still. So Aurelia's going to try and run down as quick as she can. We see GP also going for that, looks like a Triforce with Brawler Glove to go Zeal. Unless he's trying to build like a really, really early Atmas. They do ping here. They might look to do this dive or force a team fight right now. Vlad has that Blast in 1. Could go a number of different ways with that. And it looks like, here's the raise morale. They might try to pick them off there. NFAO is slightly scattered around in this, more on this blue side jungle. So you might see.
And there's
Mumu's going to walk right into the Janna. Not going to be enough. Janna immediately flashing out there. And then Morgana's going to catch that Mumu. Not going to be able to get anything on this Janna. Save that Oracle. Good reaction done. That could have been very bad for the Janna without that reaction. Graves now picking up Infinity Edge. We see a Mumu working towards that Frozen Heart as well. Janna now picking up a Ruby Crystal. Go to that Shrelia's Reverie. Very nice item. That's going to play more to this this kind of strategy that Anthrax has been doing over and over again, and that's they look for that one pick from the binding, and then they just
take advantage of it, and then they just push.
They use Shrelia, and then they just rush in with Maokai, and they just stick to them. Aurelia now going for that Frozen Mallet as well, has the pieces for it. Vlad actually pulling right away, but this bind actually catching on the minion in front instead. As the rest of his team comes, here comes Moo right now. Will they look to get this? This Black Shield's still up right now. They might look to catch this.
Morgana rotating down.
Sorry, this GP as Graves as Graves and Janna take down this tower. Or sorry, just Graves. Sorry, not Janna. Janna's on the other team.
So the team does still have a pink ward right standing beside the other team's blue ward, but they don't seem to be deciding to take it out. And I don't see the logic in that. Denying vision is always strong.
Maybe they just didn't notice it. I mean, that's a possibility.
That is definitely a possibility.
other items you see. So Corki is now complete that Triforce, has that big mid-game damage item, and that will play into his favor right now as they do have the advantage coming into this mid-game. That's definitely an item that's going to help Corki with his damage. We don't have Morgana's Hourglass quite just yet. We do see Mumu actually going to go top to clear this. This is an opportunity for Anthrax to just shove down this middle turret.
And they did see him because they do have that ward down in the Baron area.
Yeah, so it's looking for a possible catch. I wouldn't actually dive on this. It's actually a very risky thing to do, especially when you have Vlad and Graves under a tower, as well as Soraka to kind of deflect.
Oh, he lands a bind in a pool right underneath the bind. Soraka's at half health.
Oh yeah, you can't go in on that. That's so unsafe to do right now. Soraka still has ult and wish as well. So it's a very unsafe thing to do. And they're going to start pushing down some Mumus here. Now they throw down the Chemo Plan.
Wow.
There it is. Mumu's going to come in with that bandage now. Going to catch this Morgana as well as this Maokai. Less focus on this Maokai though is needed. They needed to go focus that Morgana. Alas though, they do take out this Morgana, or sorry, this Maokai. But actually, Corki and Morgana getting that bind on Vlad is going to drop him down very quick. So looks like this NFAO team is going to look to this NFAO team quickly just going to back off now. Not going to go for that push. Corki's still just poking rockets. This tower now just on 150 health, so this is very dumb. Just a couple just one or two auto attacks going to quickly take that down. We are now just buying that Hourglass right now. We do have Maokai now completing that Frozen Heart. It's going to be a big item for him. However, Corki trying to get that damage. Graves quickly trying to quick draw in, burst him down. Not going to be enough, and they're going to pick up that tower quickly. Corki just going to Valkyrie out and just be safe on his own. Gameplay looking to finish that, going that Triforce build as well with Phage and Zeal. We're going to pick up his blue.
Is he going to feed his blue to Vladimir?
He could for cooldown, or he could give it to Mumu himself if he wanted to. It looks like he's going to hand it over.
I still like blue on Mumu. He does have really, really long cooldowns with his ultimate, and that cooldown reduction is probably more effective on him in the long run. Plus, he can be extremely mana intensive.
Yeah, he can do. It just depends, but also you give Vlad that you can spam a lot of his spells too, as GP also goes top while Corki's GP taking that top tower for free right now. So Anthrax actually has very good map control right now. They're all staying on this top part of this jungle as Corki just shoves that out. And they could actually go for a... Actually, no. I'm not going to say that. That Baron would actually not. This isn't a good Baron attempt. This team isn't strong enough to do it that quickly. Especially when you have Vlad just sitting there. That spells for a lot of disaster, just in case. Looking around, the gold lead for Anthrax isn't just shy of 5,000 gold right now, 8-3 right now. So by no means is NFAO completely out of it yet. Anthrax is still sitting at this comfortable spot right now that they have, that they'll just keep poking, looking for these picks as they've been doing for the other two games as well.
Anthrax does have really strong map control now, what with Janna not having lost that Oracle since around level 7 or 8, I think she picked it up. Not a ward on the field, it looks like, for NFAO. So they're running blind at this time.
And there's very few wards spread thin. Only the ones they have right now, Janna just hasn't actually walked by for the current time. I mean, now they're going to start to push down this tower very quickly right now. Not enough damages. Mumu, bandage tossing in, getting that ultimate off. Huge AoE fight going down as the Hemo Plague. However, the Lens are going to be able to get that ultimate off.
And the binding on Graves.
The binding on Graves might kill him as he's sitting on that pool as well. Corki going to auto Valkyrie over Aurelia and go for this Vlad. However, he is going to flash over towards the race to try and get that. However, not going to be enough as Aurelia is going to ignite him and take that kill as well. You got to be careful here.
Both members are very killable right now, with Aurelia having...
Goes out that Black Shield. Needs to be careful of this zone. That Aurelia could Blade Surge and stick to her and take her down very quickly. So a 3-for-3 trade. 3-for-3 trade. They do go for these AD carries. These AD carries actually fall very quickly. However, there was quite a bit of AoE damage that Graves damage definitely amplified by that Hemo Plague, which definitely helped. That could have gone worse actually for NFAO. So that's actually pretty good for them now to have this 3-to-3 trade, as they're still kind of sitting on equal terms right now from that. They're still having a little bit behind, but they do get that gold that they want to get a couple more items. We do see Vlad now having Death Cap as well. Aurelia is going to... Actually, I already had that frozen, or just completing frozen mallet now. Gonna grab that. Or how? Sorry, no. She's gonna go for this Atmos now with this Chin West and Cloak of Agility.
And Soraka's finally picked up an Oracle, so they're managing to get some map control back for NFAO. Trying to sweep around the Baron area, make sure they don't have the proper warning position.
Yes, Corki also gonna grab that. Sorry, Corki's also grabbing the Bloodthirster as well for zone sustained. You see, Maokai's gonna obviously grab that, so they can grab the 2 Shurelias, also having that pick power just a bit stronger. Graves going for that Infinity, or sorry, that Phantom Dancer with Cloak of Agility.
We seem to be favoring a lot of crit. It seems like they pick up an early crit cloak over the pickaxe, or perhaps even the Zeal.
Yeah, crit isn't something you want to like scale into, is the thing. It's not always the most effective thing because you're relying more on chance, especially now that crit has been changed. It's better to have this Zeal, especially for these picks, right? Because he wants to be able to move in and move out quicker. It's just a safer item to go than just say crit where you're relying on chance.
So it does look like they want a position for this Baron. It looks like the NFAO wants to start a Baron fight with the Vladimir ult and the Mumu ult. That is a ton of damage, and the other team can't really counteract that except for perhaps a very, very good Soul Shackle by Morgana. Lands a bind on the Mumu right down middle lane. All right, so we're going to have to wrap this up real quick. We're going to be setting it to follow on one of the people. Sam Yun from Calgary actually has to catch a bus in 10 minutes. So we're going to be setting it to follow, and best of luck to both teams.
Hey. Testing. All right. So sorry about the confusion there, everybody. You and the commentator did come down to Edmonton from Calgary, and his bus back to his city is leaving in about 7 minutes. So him and, of course, Tim, his ride, did have to leave. I'm Prodigy, and I got left behind here, but I'm going to try to keep the camera rolling. I'm not really going to commentate because I don't know anything about the game, but I will at least get these VODs completed out for everybody. Very unfortunate that Yoon had to leave. But things to keep in mind for the future. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. I'm going to keep the camera rolling. Admittedly not the most experienced League of Legends player, commentator, etc. So I'm going to keep the commentary to pretty much a non-existent level, but I will keep the camera bouncing around on where the action might be. Apologize if I'm not looking at the right spot, but I will do my best. So enjoy the rest of it, and I'm going to hopefully do this for the next games as well. And maybe we can get somebody on the mic here, but we'll see.
Aced. Victory!
There it is. Anthrax in the the first game of the second set is going to take game one. And Anthrax coming back through the losers bracket. Of course, this is the second set of the grand finals here. $420 and $15 of RP for all the players on the team are on the line right now for that first place, second place going away, with the remaining of $600, which is of course $180 and $15 RP for all 5 of those players. We're gonna get game 2 started. Once again, I'm Prodigy. Yoon and Mystery did have to run away, and I'm not anywhere near familiar with this game to be confident in actually commentating it, but I will continue to keep the camera rolling for the sake of the viewers at home, and to have the VODs actually exist. And we're going to get this second game started right away, so don't go anywhere and stay tuned.